ये कब से इंतजार था आज की शाम का, अब देखो क्या करता है ये बंदा हिंदुस्तान का। जो मिट्टी का कर्ज है मैं मर के भी चुकाऊंगा, तुझे मिट्टी कर दूंगा या फिर मिट्टी में मिल जाऊंगा। जो भी कहा था मैं वो करके दिखाऊंगा, इंडिया से हूँ खाली हाथ नहीं जाऊंगा। मैं जब के पकड़ झाड़ दूंगा, तुझको मैं उखाड़ दूंगा। जहाँ से तू आया है ना वहीं तुझे गाड़ दूंगा। तेरी जमीन पे आज तुझे ही पछाड़ दूंगा। झंडा इंडिया का बेटे गाड़ दूंगा। सच्चाई का हर अच्छाई का है माए माए माए। रंग तेरी रीत का, रंग तेरी प्रीत का, रंग तेरी जीत का ही छाए छाए। इसका तेरा नाम है साजा। वंदे बेजुबान कल से मैं रहा बेगुनाह सहता मैं रहा। याद रहे तू ऐ वतन, मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन, मेरे वतन। तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से, तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से। पहुंचूं मैं जहां भी मेरी बुनियाद।
Hello, good evening and welcome everyone. We will be starting with the event in another 5 minutes. We are waiting for everyone to join. Till the time, please enjoy some music.
याद रहे तू, पहुंचूं मैं जहां भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू। ऐ वतन, मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन।
Very good evening, sir. Welcome.
जय हिंद, गुड इवनिंग।
Jai Hind, sir. Wishing you a very happy Republic Day.
थैंक यू रिपब्लिक डे की आप सबको गुड विशेस एंड शुभकामनाएं, मुबारकबाद।
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, we'll be starting with the proceedings in a few minutes. We're just waiting for everyone to join.
ओके, सो आई जस्ट लेट मी नो व्हेन यू स्टार्ट, है ना?
Yes, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sure. Hello, sir.
Good
Good evening,
evening,
sir.
sir. Happy Republic Day.
Hi, happy Republic Day. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay, perfect. ठीक.
So we'll just be starting in 5 minutes.
Yeah, only one request now. I may have to move out at 8 o'clock, if that's okay with you guys.
Yes,
Sure,
sir,
sir.
not a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. Good evening to everyone. जो सब मैसेज कर रहे हैं ना, गुड इवनिंग का, थैंक यू सो मच. हैप्पी रिपब्लिक डे एंड स्टे ब्लेस्ड. गुड इवनिंग.
Sir, if it's not a problem with you, could you turn on your camera? We'll start the session.
या
Yes. Yes, sir. A very good evening to all gathered here. On the behalf of VIT LEO Club, we would like to wish you all a very happy 73rd Republic Day and welcome you all to our Republic Day celebrations. On this auspicious day, we have not one but two esteemed guests with us to celebrate our powers and responsibilities as citizens of India. Major General Yashpal Singh, SM, is a third-generation army officer. He represented the country in the United Nations as a peacekeeper in Mozambique. He has experience of fighting terrorism in Punjab and J&K. Currently, he is associated in nature and wildlife conservation with Save the Himalayas Foundation and WWF.
Lieutenant Commander Bijay Nair is a decorated naval officer from the Naval Academy. Having been the part of Operation Talwar during 1999, he was awarded with Operation Vijay Star and Vijay Medal. He is the author of one of the bestsellers titled They Inspire, which has sold close to 3,000 copies. We welcome you guests and we look forward towards your insights in what's sure to be a fun-filled evening. We begin with Major General Yash sir. We would like to hear your insights on this day.
Urva, just before sir start, it's my privilege to share screen with sir. I should say that. And sir, you were looking damn handsome today morning on the TV. We all were watching you. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bijay. And when I came to know you're on the platform, so I was overjoyed because I get a lot of positive vibes from you. And when I started this short journey about 7 months back on Instagram and this, I think you were one of the first ones I contacted. Ki yaar, thoda mujhe bhi batao how to go live and to come on your live and understand this entire ecosystem. Sure. And then, of course, I've seen your YouTube videos. That is how I also started my channel. And then you came home. I remember that day when you came home here, and what a discussion we had. मतलब ऐसे लग रहा था कि चलते ही रहना चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
Captain DVS, you and me. So wonderful. And a lot of things, we share the same kind of ethos and, ethics, though born in two different places. He's from Mumbai and I'm from rural Haryana. But the same passion of, the nation and the, forces and all that. So, well, I'm happy to be here. I've heard a lot about your institute and, I studied in Bangalore, in Rashtriya Military School, Bangalore. So I'm a Tambi, South Indian, Pakka. I love South Indian food. I love South Indian people. I love everything about South India. Okay? I'm born here, but my, you can say, my kismat was turned around by South India. So I'm a Pakka South Indian. And Vellore se meri train, aap socho main 8-9 saal school mein raha hu. I've crossed that railway station on that railway line, and I've seen VIT from nascent stage when the first college came up, and slowly it's become a wonderful institution with so many. It's become a seat of learning. So I've seen this entire thing. So I'm happy to be with you all. And what I'll do is 5-10 minutes. I'll share my thoughts on Republic Day. It's a wonderful day. And in many ways, this is really an Independence Day, because though we got independence from the British on 15th August, but we remained under the monarchy because of the Government of India Act of 1935. And we had a Governor General. The exterior, the external, the defense of India still remained with British officers. So it was only when this, and hats off to, the leaders of that time, led by Mahatma Gandhi. Look, nobody can obliterate his name or try to reduce his, just see his life. I'm really amazed with that person, the way, and there's no conflict. The first person to call him Mahatma was Subhash Chandra Bose. So don't believe in false narrative, which some IT cells will push in your WhatsApp group since morning and this, that, nothing. Both were great, but Mahatma is Mahatma, he led the nation. He led the nation towards this. And then everyone's contribution. We couldn't have had a better first Prime Minister than Pandit Nehru. Imagine 15th August independence, 26th August the Constituent Assembly meets and appoints Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who studied, constitution of 60 countries to draft this. And 2 years, 8 months and 11 days, they draft a constitution. And they pick up the best. If you've seen my YouTube video, which I released today morning, it's got straight excerpt from UK, US, Japan, Ireland, many countries. Whatever was the best available, they put it together and to call it, and many of the sittings of the Constituent Assembly were held in open. So those people, if somebody tries to now say, no, they were not good and this or this person, so please, this is the danger we are having of polarization now. But otherwise, I think we have come a long way. Yesterday with one of the colleges, I think PGDAV College in Chandigarh, I gave a talk on India at 75 gains and losses. So I narrated the entire, from space to nuclear, from green revolution to white revolution, IT cell, literacy, health, everything that what have been the achievements of the nation. But I also narrated the losses. After the trauma of 1947, when 14 million people were displaced, we still did not learn our lessons. And we still continue, once in a while, like a bad cancer, the fissures of communal disharmony and this kind of a thing, which a nation like ours just can't afford. So we have safeguarded our democracy, great. Safeguarded our republic, great. And we fought well. We've had a robust foreign policy. And by and large, I can never pick out this man is good, but the other man, people who have no longer here were anti-nationals, or they never, oh, great, come on, you can't even think of this. It's like blaming your great-grandfathers for what you are today. No, it's never done. It's not even part of our culture. So please, this is my request to young generation. Don't follow these guys who are, trying to polarize and all. So we are a great nation. We've come a long way. Each man has contributed. Each man, each prime minister, each minister, anyone who was, when I went abroad to UN and many other places, one thing I used to hear, India is a lucky country because your leaders are very patriotic. I said, come on. He said, yes. Or also, I contemplated sitting abroad looking at India from this thing. I said, yeah, we are lucky. Right from time of Pandit Nehru, then Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi, Morarji Desai for a short time, and then Rajiv Gandhi, a young technocrat, got IT cell and telecom sector, just, what a vision. And then you had PV Narasimha Rao, who actually transformed. No way, we are lucky that way. We've had some fantastic leaders, great growth. But some areas, where I feel let down, I feel sorry, is demolition of Babri Masjid, then Mumbai blasts, then the Punjab insurgency, riots in Delhi, then riots in Gujarat, 2002, Kashmir insurgency. North is still not part of truly part of our so our frontiers still sometimes. 99 Pakistanis came in, we were surprised. 2020 the Chinese came in, we were really again surprised. So somewhere we need to also critically look at our defense management, higher defense management, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and so we have enemies across, but at least inside the country, by and large, we have had very good growth. All people, all communities have grown. But then last few years, because of COVID and due to this demonetization, this has broken the back. And the Oxfam report and now the ICE report are really a shockers that so many people have gone back to poverty. It has never happened since 47. We always had some people coming up every year, some population coming up. We never had a fall back to poverty. Last year, 4.6 crore people have gone back to poverty. It's a double hit. So empathy for our poor is something your young generation must cultivate. You are fortunate ones. Your parents could afford you to give you good education. But what about millions? And now millions are left out of school. That again is really telling. I know why schools are not opening. Malls are open. Rallies are going, but school band. This is horrifying because these people will leave. But the effects will be felt 10 years later when these boys and girls, uneducated, will be roaming around the streets with no jobs, no skill, nothing. I don't know. I really fail to understand. I'm not able to find one reason why the schools and colleges are closed. It's horrifying. Online is 5% of our population can be educated on. 5%. ये है जिनका smartphone, Wi-Fi, घर में facility है. But what about millions and millions of them who don't have 4G, don't have even 2G, or it's blocked or some reason or the other? So somewhere our focus is going to past. We want to dig out the past. what Aurangzeb did, what, oh, leave yaar, they've gone long back. Give me a vision of the future. You all must be asking, sir, agle 10 saal ki batao, please. 20 saal ka batao, what is your vision? Where do you want India to go? How will we go? वो रास्ता दिखाओ हमें थोड़ा सा. Past छोड़ दो, leave it. Subhash Chandra Bose, great, all great. Everyone, statues, ले लेंगे statue और बना लो statue. But not at the cost of infrastructure, not at the cost of health. Look at what is our health infrastructure. Second wave broke the back of our nation. And we were importing oxygen cylinders. The aircrafts were carrying. It was a sad day for me. Somebody was looking at being an air power and a big national power. और oxygen cylinder ला रहे हैं. विदेश से ट्रक भर के यार ऑक्सीजन दे दो हमें. So that is our state of health. That is our state of education. Still, we need to grow as a nation, hold this nation together. So I thought I'll just share these thoughts with you all, very frankly, very candidly, where it should touch you. Yes, ये बात है. And I've been reading, I've been traveling across the nation, traveled across the globe, and I'm seeing from all angles, where we have made great gains and where we have lost, and where we could go if we don't wake up now. We could really go down if we don't really pull up our socks and invest in the right direction, invest in scientific temper. Science can take us ahead. No religion or power or gods or temples can never push a country ahead. ये तो मैं guarantee दे रहा हूँ आपको. It's impossible that places of worship can take you ahead. No. It is just the power, scientific temper, education, skill. देश बनता इनसे है. घंटी बजाने से ये करने कभी भी नहीं बनता. कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. Really sad. ये करने से वो कुछ भी नहीं होगा. Never. Because इतनी पूजा पाठ हमारे देश में होती है, कहीं दुनिया में होती है. Then why are we still a third world country with 30% of our population एक 50 रुपए से कम कमाते हैं. 30% गरीब लोग हैं हमारे देश में. Below sub-Saharan African poverty. आप लोगों ने देखी नहीं है. I have traveled to Madhya Pradesh and Odisha and Jharkhand and interior Rajasthan, Maharashtra, areas where एक भी पूरे गांव में आदमी काम नहीं करता है, सरकारी नौकरी नहीं. Why today a PhD or MTech wants to get a PN's job? Why we produce unemployable graduates and postgraduates? They are unfit for any job. What has gone wrong? So somewhere we can blame. Best is you can blame the others, but what are you doing? What are we doing? And do we have a vision for the future? So I thought I'll just share. Then once Bijay speaks, we will take some candid questions. It's great to talk to you all. And this has been my theme. I'm an atheist, so I speak for, and I believe in patriotism of the nation. I believe in the strength of the nation. I love my country immensely, but at the cost of, I love this person in my country, but I hate these many people because they wear different dress, they wear different food. I must even tell them, ye khana khao yaar, this is not good. What about South India? Akhand Bharat, does it include South India? That is why I told you in the beginning, I love South India because the culture of India is in South. The dances of India are in South. We draw the inspiration from South India. But if South is being ignored, Deccan is entirely being ignored in this entire discourse. Entire discourse. Where is South India? Where is Kartikeya? How can Jai Shri Ram become our slogan now? Whereas just south of India, there nobody talks. Okay, good. Read mythology, good inspiration. Great lessons from Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So also from Bule Shah. So also from Kabir. So also from Guru Nanak. So what? Vivekanand. Ramkrishna Paramhans, there are so many of them. Kisi ki bhi sun lo. Everybody has preached, nobody has preached hatred. No one, not even one. So this is my request to you, that beware of what is happening and try and see in your own capacity, what can we do to build a better India? And can we have empathy for our poor? I somehow feel our poor are really, they're unfortunate. We don't have that much of attention for the poor. Very, very. Second wave of COVID, the migrations, even then how can you put a lockdown? You announce tomorrow lockdown, tomorrow no notes, no this. What is this? This country is, So from Zingoism, rhetoric, let's get back to working, where we must be just quiet. Can we keep quiet for 2 months? 2 months quiet, only talk, only working. It needs hours and hours of work. I've worked at being a general officer. I know what it means to sit when you're so many people, how many hours it takes to read a file, how many hours it takes to write a noting and approve things and move things going. It doesn't happen by roaming around and talking. Just talking will not do. Talking will never do. So thank you very much for inviting me. Sorry, Bijay, if I have taken extra time. Thank you.
So the pleasure of you being here is all ours. And truly said, your ideology towards a more united nation on a more realistic front is what I think all of us should inculcate. Now over to Commander Bijay Nair for his insights on today's day.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for inviting. And like every time I listen, sir, I mean my horizon widens. Sir is so well read, and sir is a person who will speak straight from heart with fact. There is no mincing of words, and there is no pleasing someone. Like if you like it, you like it. If you don't like, sir speaks fact. And that's beautiful. So every time बोलते हैं ना, जब भी मैं सर को सुनता हूँ धनी हो जाता हूँ. Like I get so many things. So yeah, so that has been probably my internet is a bit unstable, so excuse me for that. So am I audible, Chandrashir?
Yes, sir. Right now you are, sir, audible, and it's perfect. It's going perfect.
Okay. So first of all, congratulations on the 73rd. When the country became free in 1947, and thereafter when the constitution was drafted, and when we became a republic in 1950. And yes, past glories are fine. Past glories are to be read. Past glories are to be remembered, and it has to be, like we all should feel a very in deep heart. But yes, what lies ahead is what future, what next. What next, and you are the generation who are going to do that, especially since you are from the technical background. Lot of emphasis has to be put on you are coming into this foray, when you finished your education. And what I see, like now I'm in corporate, I had a technical division, and being there at the helm, and interviewing so many people at a vice president level. What I see is now the degrees have just become a degree. If a degrees have just become a degree, it doesn't help for the nation building. There are so many engineering colleges churning out engineers day in and day out. But what is the quality? I'm surprised when I call for an interview, some 500 people apply, and if I don't get even 2 or 3 candidate who knows the basic, then what is the point of having an engineering degree, right? And this why I am focusing and stressing on that, because every aspect of you has to be contributed. You will contribute to the building of this nation, and that's why it's very, very important that it doesn't remain a paper degree. It doesn't remain just a sort of, what we say, a takeaway or get over. कि ठीक एक degree मिल गया, or tomorrow we can go and apply for job and things like that. Instead, focus on what you have learned, and especially you guys carry a huge reputation, because VIT is one of the niche colleges after IITs in India. So you carry a great reputation. At the same time, as sir said, never believe in the WhatsApp forward or what people tell you. Go to the fact and read and listen. Stop the hatred. The first thing for a progressive India is stop the communal hatred, stop the hatred in itself. You believe the fact. What is fact? As sir said, fact is what speaks, right? So all of you have a great responsibility on this wonderful day. And I've been talking from morning to various colleges. It has been privileged to be part of the young crowd, to speak to youth, and someone spending an evening 7 to 8:30 with all of us listening, that implies that you are the people who are interested in nation building. Otherwise, what does a 22 years old guy do? Yeah, I'm sorry, you may be 20 years old or 19, 20. Half of the population, before I joined Instagram in 2020, during the breakdown, So I was having a mixed opinion about the youth. I'm so sorry to have that opinion, but I was having a mixed opinion of the youth. तो मेरा ये था हमेशा कि half the youth in this country is busy making TikTok, and one fourth of the youth is busy making Instagram reels, and what about that? But yes, it was a perception. My perception changed when I got in touch with youngsters like you guys who want to spend qualitative time listening to the experiences, listening on how we can contribute and how we can progress. That itself shows the interest in the entire aspect. So I'm glad and grateful that you have invited me, and I think this is the third time on various handles of VIT I'm speaking. So I get invited. So probably in another couple of invites, I may become alumni of VIT. So that is what I believe. So you have to give me an honorary degree for that. So yeah. So best of luck, and whatever sir said, please imply that. Please believe in that, and that is the fact. That is the fact. So wishing again all of us a very, very happy Republic Day, and so all up to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. The pleasure was all ours, actually. We are so grateful that we could invite two amazing leaders who were there in the army and the navy here with us today. And your insights
Also,
about...
Purva, I would add that, like all of you should go and subscribe to Sir's channel, YouTube channel. Trust me, it is an information, जैसे बोलते हैं ना खान है information की. All of you must, because so much of information. He speaks on various topics and various. Even I get lot of insights because the way sir read and way sir put it up. So please do go and subscribe that channel. It has to be, and it has to reach all the youth of this country. So it becomes your moral duty to ensure that it reaches so many people, so that we all are rich by experience, whatever sir has said. So do that.
That is
sorry, Urva,
wonderful idea. So that
Yes,
is a wonderful idea. We will be sharing the link for Sir's YouTube channel on all our groups. And I'm sure a lot of people will connect with Sir on that platform and grasp all the knowledge we can from Sir.
I will be sharing it here in the chat box also by the end, so that everybody in this session can subscribe it right now. Actually, we are really grateful that we could hear about your thoughts and how you feel about this country, and how you feel how we can unite this country even more, because there are some gaps and loopholes where we are falling apart. After hearing, I'm sure a lot of us have a lot of questions that we would like to ask you guys. So if anybody has, you can drop in the comment section, and we'll be proceeding with the ones that we've got up till now. So the first question that we have is, it's a common question. What does today's Republic Day, so what does patriotism mean to somebody who is in the army or in the navy? How do you define it? For us, it's celebrating these days, celebrating India and their leaders. But for you, how does it reflect? How do you feel about this day, and what does it mean?
See, in the army, these 2 days, actually, since we must accept that our forces are relic of the past colonial handover, we became Indian only on 15th August 1947. Okay, our forces. So there are a lot of traditions which have been going on, and not much emphasis was laid on the patriotic front, because as assumed we were doing our duty, and this in the face hyper nationalism was not there when we were growing up. But taking part in the Republic Day parade, or actually starts with the Army Day parade. Same people take part in the Republic Day parade, because it's in a manner that in 20 days you take part. That is a great honor for the unit which takes part, and for the soldiers who take part, the officers who take part. Then this is the day when awards are announced, so people wait for it, and everybody gets something or the other. Even our JCOs and NCOs who are retiring, they become honorary officers. Many NCOs become honorary JCOs. So everybody waits. There is something for everyone, and the day does mark with the officers coming to the junior commissioned officers, their mess for a glass of beer, or vice versa on these 2 days, and maybe lectures in schools and all, and that kind of a thing happens. But when we are on the border, I've been on the line of control with Pakistan for 3 years on the Punch, Rajouri, that sector, and then on line of actual control with China twice. So there you really feel the sense of being a nation on these days, because all your posts have the tricolor, and you exchange maybe some places sweets or some places firing with your enemies, depending on which sector you are and what is the relation that time. So it does fill you with a great pride. It does give you great pride. And when I was in the UN, further pride, because we invited all nationalities to dine with us, and we showcased what Indian Army is. So I remember these 2 days spent in United Nations mission were amazing. And our Indian contingent has to host everyone. So let's make it memorable. So there it is. It is indeed. These are real festivals of India. These two.
Yes, sir, definitely. Lieutenant Commander, sir, we would like to know your insights on this day, and what does patriotism mean to you?
Yeah, so I remember as a kid, like when I used to, these 2 days, 15 August and 26 January, I religiously used to watch the parade. Even today I watch as religiously I used to watch when I was a kid. Today morning also I ensured that my daughter also watch. And some point of time when I was in 8th standard or 9th standard, I would visualize that someday I would be taking part in a parade. And that was the beauty of that. That's the power of visualization. And many years later, I was there, handling the parade and being a parade platoon commander. So it was such a wonderful feeling, No feeling can take, no feeling can ever replace that few moments in your life, So I say there are 10 or 15 moments in your life. One is when you are born, then you do so many things, then you die somewhere. Between that birth and death, there are 10 or 15 such moments which you will relish it every time. One such moment is being the platoon commander. And trust me, as sir said, it was the day when I was in unit, and I was privileged to be on INS Virat in when I was posted there. And the Independence and Republic Day on board an aircraft carrier is something, you experience it in a very different way, with all those josh and with white uniform. And being the junior most, when you are a lieutenant and lieutenant commander, whether you like it or not, you are there in some or the other parade, So for us, it was like, "Arey yaar, fir se bula diye. Ek baar theek tha, abhi fir se practice." And what you see today, what they have put in today, is the culmination of practice and training of so many months. When I say when you see that Kadak march past, tak, that implies that they would have given their everything for that particular moment. That is the beauty of that. And other thing was, I remember we used to go for Bada Khana with the sailors and other men. And we used to, as sir said, there used to be beer exchange. And that was one wonderful day when you get to mix up. So as sir said, these are the 2 real festivals of India, 15th August and 26th. And even all of us civilians, all those who are in civil, and there is a particular patriotic fervor on these 2 particular days. You can see tricolor everywhere, and people, at least today I was reading an article in newspaper, and it said that now from last few years, we feel very close to the armed forces and the paramilitary forces and the police forces. So we are glad to see that at least some changes are happening, and you need to respect those people. Unlike when you go abroad, US and Australia and all, so people, the respect they shower on their armed forces, the respect they shower on their veterans, it is amazing. It is amazing. And I visualize a day that very soon it will happen in India also. It's not कि हम बोलते घुस के कि हमको इज्जत दो, salute दो. It's not like that. But yes, you have to respect your armed forces, and that's beautiful. So for me, 26th January and 15th August hold a very special place in my heart. And as I said in the beginning, जब मैं 8वीं में था, 6वीं में था, तब भी उतने जोश से देखता था जितना आज मैं 46 years का ओल्ड हूँ. And still I was watching that, you know. And in fact, आज चैनल पे तो बार बार सर को हम बदल बदल के जी बिजनेस पे देख रहे थे. I was telling my mother and wife and daughter about sir ki, you know, like the commentary was giving and thoughts he were. So it was a wonderful day. It is a wonderful day.
Yes, sir, definitely. For us also, today's day is really special, and all of us were definitely there on time to watch the parade, because it is one thing that we never miss on TV, because it's something that we are very proud of. And definitely it requires a lot of practice, a lot of days to get into that rhythm. But for us who are watching it, it's like it shows the unity of the country. It shows how strong we are, and it's a way in which we feel secure that we have the armed forces here, and we'll be saved from any attack anybody does. And we don't hope that happens, but if it happens, then we are definitely assured that it won't affect us any day. Now, as you said that you used to watch the parade even when you were small, when you were in 7th or 8th class. I would like to know how did you plan of getting into military, and what were your thoughts about joining military, and did those change after you joined the military? Because we are very curious about that, since we are of that age right now that many of us do want to join and do wish to apply. So we would like to know.
Sure. So I will keep it very, very short because नहीं तो stories hai, so it will take a whole lot of time. Yes, so I will keep it very short in the term that when I was growing up, my first thought, every one of us have एक सपना होता है ना कि I have to become this, I have to become that. So my first thought in 6th standard or 5th standard, since I belong to Mumbai and I grew up in an area in the time when gang wars were at the very high this thing. So I always wanted to be a gangster, the first thing. So the first, like लोगों को engineer बनना होता है, doctor. So I wanted to be a gangster. I will not mix my words. But as we grew up, there were two serials called Fauji and Paramveer Chakra, which used to happen. And that was the biggest motivation for me to change my mind to the armed forces, and somehow, as they say, sometimes media plays a very important role in shaping us. And this particular thing, even when you see Captain Vikram Batra's movie, Sher Shah, so he was also motivated by seeing Paramveer Chakra. So we are of the same lot. He's 6 months senior to me. So we grew up. Most of our times, people, I remember talking to Sir and General J.D. Bakshi and all those. So their time, it was a comics called Commando Comics, which used to come, and a lot of them used to read. So every generation has its one. So for our time, it was Sher Shah. So I appeared for NDA exams, and I cleared NDA written, I cleared SSB. And in the medical, I had a problem with my eyes, 6/6. There was an issue with 6/6. I really never came to know what was the problem, because, it was only one attempt for me, because father was very, very clear. If you don't clear, you have to move on, because there I got a TR and I need to apply to Command Hospital in Delhi. But my father was not ready for me to go there. And he said, kitna paisa kaun kharcha karega, move on and all. That's a fact, And then I went on to do my engineering. So I did my engineering. And in the 3rd year, I appeared for the short service tech entry. The only thing that was the difficult part was they needed first class in last 4 semester. And the first 4 semester, I had somehow managed to pass, with some papers, backlog, and so many things, like what engineering mein hota hai. I always believed that engineering is a very positive place, very positive thing to do. Because kitna bhi fail ho jaye na, you laugh, you keep on laughing, whether 4 papers KT or 6 paper KT. Everyone was happy. Those who are full clear, they were also happy. Those who got 4 KT, they were happy. Those who got 8 KT, they were happy. Everyone was happy. So that was a very positive mood there. And in the 3rd year, I started really studying to be eligible to appear for Navy, the tech interview, SSC tech interview. And that's how the motivation to get the first class in last 4 semester. and I applied for short service tech entry. So I cleared my SSB again, second time, and medical. So same issues cropped up of eyes, but this time I was lucky, probably a Air Force officer was the wing commander, was the surgeon wing commander was the doctor. And when in NDA, it was a army officer who was a doctor. So they were very strict and he didn't allow me. But so that's why Air Force वालों के साथ थोड़ा हमदर्दी ज्यादा है कि ठीक है sir will be like अरे क्या बोल रहे हो types. So and All India rank 4, I was All India rank 4 in the merit. So All India rank 4 was easy to get into. This was the beautiful journey, from being 8th standard student from a small place in Mumbai, dreaming of being a gangster to becoming a Fauji. And 10 years in Fauj, as you asked me a question, did anything change for you? No, nothing changed for me. I gave my best 10 years. But a lot of people ask me, since आपको बचपन से ये था कि फौजी बनना है इतना, then why did you leave at 10 years? So I was a short service commission officer. I was doing really well in the armed forces. But yes, 10 years ke baad, I decided, because my wife was working, she's IT professional. And, at some point of time, we decided that both of our careers were important. Had I carried on in Navy, probably a lot of transfers at the senior rank because I was going to be a commander. And a lot of things would have changed for us. So, bade dil pe patthar rakh ke bolte hain na. So I moved on, I came out, and no regrets. Trust me, wahan bhi जी जान से दिया था. Last 13 years, I worked under Ministry of Shipping, one of the units, and I have excelled there also. So whatever Forge taught me, whatever the Navy shaped up me, so I took it into corporate. And I always believe in a leadership called MBA, the LBA, what we call the leadership by action. So I believe I practice that. I cannot expect that I will do something. I may not do something and my people will do. So I never believed in that. So I always believed that I will have to do first and then the people will do, And that is what I carry in the corporate, and pretty successful so far. Life has been kind, and so I would encourage all of you to join the armed forces. It's such a beautiful career. It transforms you. It transforms you from a raw individual or a raw engineering graduate at 21 to whatever I am today. It's courtesy of armed forces and the blessings of everyone, my senior officers, my junior officers, my colleagues, my men who at every point of time taught me so many things. And I'm a learner. I'm open to learn. At this age also, if somebody's ready to, even you guys, many of you may have a lot of much better knowledge than me. So I'm open to learn from you guys also. So you have to be open to learn. That is the funda, and to grow. That is the funda to grow. The moment you are rigid, and the day you say I am from VIT and we are the best and the best, hame koi nahi sikha sakta, so that is the doomsday for you. That is the end of everything. So yes, so no regret. And जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि अगर दोबारा चांस मिले लाइफ में, फिर से फौज ज्वाइन करूंगा. There is no second thought about it. Probably this time maybe army or air force, क्योंकि नेवी तो अभी कर लिया, तो probably army or air force. Army always was my first love till the time I happened to see a naval cant. I stay close to a naval cant, and अंदर गए थे, एक बार पकड़ा गया, and that's the first time I saw naval uniform. And तब से फिर वो I started loving that whites. And there was a wrong notion, sir. Like people used to say कि navy uniform पहन लिया ना तो भले आप अच्छे नहीं दिखते हो, वो चार थोड़ा और ऐड कर देता है glamour, so you look handsome करके. That was probably one of the reasons also. Nevertheless, so this was my journey, and I would encourage all of you to go that. Yeah. So कभी detail में फुर्सत मिले तो we will have a detail 1.5 hour session on each aspect. फिर कभी, right? So thank you so much.
Definitely, sir. It's a very beautiful journey. Like we dream, and looking our dreams becoming the reality is the best one. So I wanted to ask, what are some of the things you remember about adapting to military life? Like,
so it's all about, like what we call the OLQ, the learning factors. So as I said in my talk, the first thing is be open to learn, be open to learn. And life in armed forces is all about learning and challenges. Every new posting, before you could realize that you are settled in your work, there is a transfer. and you have to start relearning again, and that keeps you young, that keeps your mind challenging, that keeps the creativity flowing. And that's how the armed forces, the things are, planned, and things are made for you. So be open and be adaptable. I would say only that.
So we would like to listen to your opinion also.
Yeah, see, first of all, with Bijay Nair, you must join his Instagram live on Fridays when he tells ghost stories. He's at his captivating best. मैं तो बीच में भूल गया कि I was thinking I am in his live and enjoying his talk, because he has this, he is a great storyteller, and he spins around or very nicely, because it comes from here that you become a good storyteller if you believe in what you are saying. So my journey was a little different. I was born absolutely in a rural setting. My father was a soldier, but he had a vision that my son should become an officer. So he put me in the military school, Rashtriya Military School, Bangalore. That was really traveling very far as a 10-year-old boy. So I went to boarding school and cadet college. It's a mini NDA, you can say. And there I had my own ups and downs, but I spent a fair amount of my time reading. Reading was my hobby in school. And I did, itni kitabein padhi, I can't tell you. Itni kitabein padhi, I can't tell you. And sports. And I excelled in debates. I excelled in dramatics. So though I was very poor in academics, I never took interest in academics. So I never qualified for NDA. By the time NDA came, I was maths to mere bas ki baat nahi thi. So I was pure art student. I just about cleared my maths for 10th. I had no aptitude for maths, no aptitude for chemistry, physics, biology, bilkul nahi. I was interested more into humanities, more into literature, and into acting and debating and things like that. So, but when I went to college, I was lucky I went to college. And college I did in Punjab. There got to, from a boys only boarding school, finally we had girls also in our class, and so that was a big change. So college ka bada acha time raha, but then I decided that since this is the aspiration of the parents and something I can do and I'm made for it, so I cleared my CBS in first chance, cleared my SSB in first chance, and joined the academy and did very well in the academy also. I was physically very fit and performed. And then in the army also had a more than brilliant, life, took a lot of risks into, was a big risk taker. All over I was always there in action, and somehow I survived. And, then this quest for knowledge started sometimes in early 90s. Then, of course, I started professional reading. Then I did my first MSc, then from Madras University, then did an MDS from Dhaka, Bangladesh, then did an MPhil from Osmania University, and capped it with a PhD from the same university. And my PhD is in nuclear doctrine, surprisingly. So wonderful, and what Vijay was saying, adaptability. From mountains, you would be in deserts. From deserts, you will be in jungles. And very frequent posting, sometimes within a year or a year and a half. In fact, when my son was in 10th class, we were counting, he had done 11 schools. So, and a lot of, stay away from families and all. So that was one part, but really enjoyed this amazing journey. And armed forces is a good career. It's a good career. And today with the engineering, students are going even into the fighting arms, and they're doing exceedingly well. In fact, you will not be surprised, at least whatever I have seen, the technical entry graduates are performing exceedingly well. Now they have been more than 20 years, around 20 years now. They're coming into command positions in many places. And I see a lot of future for people who have a technical bent of mind, scientific temper. And with, of course, anyone can be physically fit and robust. You don't have to be physically fit, doesn't mean you have to have upper story absolutely empty. So you can have a mix and match of both. So you'll all have a good, if you plan to join the defense forces, a lot of avenues are there now also for girls. So it's a good career if you choose to. If you don't choose to, it's okay. You can still pursue many other things.
Sir, really inspired by your words, and I'm sure that this will be the motivating force for a lot of us in the future. Sir, one thing I wanted to ask you is that you might come across a lot of common misconceptions that the today's youth is having towards the armed forces. Would you like to please clear one of the biggest any misconception you think is that the today's youth is carrying forward about the armed forces, and would you like to clear it for us?
See, I don't know what misconceptions, but now that I'm mentoring, over 1 lakh children through YouTube, Instagram, and I run a communication course. I also run an aspirant course. Then I'm an educator on Unacademy. There also a lot of children attend my current affairs classes. In fact, they call themselves YMUNs. So YMU, they've coined it's Yashmore University, because I've taken them out of WhatsApp University. So that is how it started, as a joke about 4 months back. So the moment my class starts, they say now we are in YMU, Yashmore University. So I take all subjects, every controversial, nobody has touched these subjects in a live media. I do it openly. So there I see, having seen a cross section of children from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, exactly, and the children from abroad also who follow my classes, on Unacademy and this. So मुझे क्या लग रहा है ना कि आप लोगों के मन में जो conception है फौज का, वो Instagram से है, थोड़ा Facebook से है, थोड़ा पिक्चरें देखने से है. Real life, and what is the really quality required to crack this, many of you are not knowing. So इसलिए you feel that disappointment कि वहां जाते हैं, you are not fully prepared, you don't really understand. I've coined a term called OLB, officer-like behavior. Do you have that in you to behave like an officer in everyday life? Then you automatically, you will inculcate those qualities, those habits, those personality traits that and anyone can become. Anyone. I don't believe you get leadership from genes. Genes से बाल का color, face का color, skin मिलता है. वो genes में मिल जाता है parents से. Rest all can be cultivated by the environment you stay and your own self. Your own self, you can change your life. You can just change your life. You can take a U-turn anytime, provided you have the willpower to do it. So this I think, तो lot of girls now NDA, वो एक push-up नहीं होता है, कोई पता ही नहीं है कुछ भी, communication skills develop नहीं है, current affairs की बात करो तो बिल्कुल ही बत्ती गोल हो जाती है. उनसे पूछ लो पाकिस्तान की कैपिटल क्या है, many will say Lahore, somebody will say Karachi. Many don't know where is Balochistan, where is Afghanistan, what is POK, how exactly is, it's very simple things. They won't even know the 7 states of Northeast. They won't even know very basic, I'm telling you. Things which are happening in our everyday, in current affairs. So there, plus they don't even know basic awareness is lacking. So there, I think this is a misconception. Those who, they have the desire to join, but they don't know what they need to do. There, I think they are too much. Bollywood की image ज़्यादा है फौज के बारे में. Reality थोड़ी फर्क है. Bijay will also agree with me. Serving in a ship or serving in a unit, infantry unit or armor or mech or any unit in field area is quite different. It's not as glamorous as they try to portray in our movies, unfortunately.
Yes, sir. So, true, sir. Anything, sir, you would like to add on to this?
Yeah, very true. So Instagram and all, we come across so many young youth. So their perception is the Instagram picture, some handles post, and these handles are people who are once upon a time they were passionate youngsters who wanted to join the defense force, and they put everything with half knowledge. Not even half knowledge. I would say hardly any knowledge. So they always put the glamorous. So I come across a lot of youth who would say, sir, how to join the special forces. Yeah. Simple. How to join special. So first I tell them first try to join the armed forces. No, so then uske baad special force. Dekhte hain whether you qualify. So they have that glamour thing in them ki Balidan badge lagayenge, ye karenge. And trust me, to get that Balidan badge or for a commando course, it's not that easy. It's not that easy because all of us sir had undergone commando course, and I was with Marcos for 2 years, so very close. It's not easy. It's not at all easy. So half of the knowledge is based on what media portrays you. And if media wants to portray good, they portray good. And if they want to, there was one serial which Ekta Kapoor was last year is one of the OTT platform आया था, wherein army major was shown with in a very in a very disrespectful way. The uniform was shown with a lot of vulgarity and in it. So this is how. So there were a lot of comments saying कि ये लोग ऐसे ही होते हैं करके, And at some point of time, when it portrays in a good way, then they will say, okay, ये लोग ऐसे होते हैं. So it's a conception built by that. But trust me, it's really tough. It's not easy to serve at border, or it's not easy to serve in a warship, because जो glamour दिखता है ना uniform में, वो है. Yes, uniforms are glamorous because it is earned. Not even your basics, जो होता है ना washroom से लेके everything, you are sharing with each others, and that's how you are. That's how you are made. That's why our camps are held. And yes, one of the major misconception is that फौजियों को राशन मिलता है free में, राशन और दारू मिलता है. So a lot of them want to join the armed forces for that. There are people who will say, sir, राशन मिलता है, free में आता है, दारू free में आता है. It is not like that. It are those privileges which are your entitlement, and nothing is free, When you say canteen में जाके, nothing. It's only subsidized, which you will get in a supermarket these days. So अगर वो सोच के अगर आप फौज में आना चाहते हो, तो you are somewhere you are wrongly guided, है ना? So my only thing is कि follow people who know about it, who are from that particular corps, who are from the armed forces. अगर आपको आधा knowledge लेके अगर ये करना है, तो then you will always build lot of conceptions and misconceptions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's true. That's very well said, sir. Now over to Prabha.
So I would like to give the vote of thanks for this event. That was a memorable session. I speak for everyone gathered here that we are deeply moved and inspired today. On behalf of everyone, I'd like to thank you, sirs, for taking time out of your busy schedule to inspire us. Your words have encouraged us to make the best of our skills and knowledge to support and enrich our beloved motherland. Your experiences were a huge motivation for us to look up to and learn from. We thank you so much, sirs, for such an enlightening session. Thank you all for being a lovely, enthusiastic audience. Before we call it a day, I request you to stand up for the national anthem.
So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We had a lot of fun with you today, and along with the fun, there was, of course, this knowledge that you inculcated in all of us. We'll surely be connected with you on all the various social media handles.
Absolutely. And thank you to Nishigandha Acharya. She was literally, she didn't leave me. Today finally asked, who are you? What's your name? Then she said, Nishigandha Acharya. Oh, I said, I've been getting emails from this girl. So you need somebody in the team who latches on and ensures that, your time and Bijay. So you need somebody who will pull you.
So thanks. Same goes for Urva also. She was after my life. And every time.
So these girls are really, I'm telling you, Nishigandha Acharya, message, email. Then I said, please talk to my team. then through that, then this. So मैंने कहा यार ये VIT Vellore तो भैया ये छोड़ेंगे नहीं. Lions Club, you know, they are really, you know, out to.
We were thirsty for knowledge, sir, and I'm so happy to tell you that.
Knowledge यार कोई knowledge नहीं, हमने गपशप मारी है. ठीक है, थोड़ी दिल की बात कर ली, कोई वो नहीं, हमको ऐसे इतनी क्यों विजय, हम लोग कोई नॉलेज देने वाले बंदे हैं नहीं.
नहीं सर, बिल्कुल नहीं. So it was a दिल से दिल की बातें ना. This is what we feel.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes,
you know,
It's always amazing to listen to people from armed forces. It just gives so much of josh in everybody. It's always
Stories are amazing.
उमर अली का comment आ गया. Real lions in this country. And we share the same. This part is Bijay and me share the same ethos on this important aspect, you know. But even in our ranks today, you find people have, you know, have been influenced by this IT cell. So one has to be very, very, you know, I stay away from that. And they know me ki Yash more means, you know, he will, you know, get after them.
Yes,
very
sir.
true, sir. Very true. And I second that because, you know, I have seen sir closely and I'm privileged to be associated. I had a chance of meeting sir so that's why I said all of you should follow his YouTube channel. It's a plethora of information and it's a mine where you can dig out so much of, you know, knowledge. So please go there and subscribe. And thanks to Vellore, VIT, you guys have been amazing. And I believe that someone who spends 1 hour listening to, you know, 2 of the veterans, they mean business. So all you youngsters, you mean business. And that is one step. One is one of the OLQs you call, no, in the armed forces. So that is one of the OLQs. So keep nurturing that and wishing you all the best.
Chalo, all the best. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai
Jai
Hind.
Hind, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Yeah. So even I have a channel called Fauji Talks on YouTube. So a lot of
Yes, sir.
interviews with. There's an interview of Yashpal sir. There's an interview of General J.D. Bakshi, and there was a wing commander. So many interviews. So go through. As somebody said, just wheeling away time on a web series. We call it as binge watching. You know the term binge watching. So if you do a binge watching of some series, trust me, you are wasting your life. You know, entertainment is fine. Maybe half an hour, 1 hour is fine. You know, if you do that for 8 hours, 9 hours continuously, then I believe you are on the wrong track. Instead, spend time on listening and gaining a lot of knowledge from various sources which are available on YouTube. And so social media is a very good place to get a lot of knowledge if used in the right direction. You know, for that matter,
Yes, sir.
Instagram also, if you're spending too much of time on Instagram and watching some stupid reels there, so that means you are wasting your time. Instead, listen to people like Yashpal sir or many other military channels are there. So it's not only for you to go, or we are not motivating you to go and join the armed forces. We are only telling you, okay, this is a way of life. You know, you can adapt it. Even if tomorrow you're not able to wear uniform, nothing goes wrong. But that's a way of life you can carry forward in whatever spheres of life you are in, you know. And as engineers, as I am an engineer, so I have a deep connect with you guys, the youngsters. And since I sit in corporate today in a technical role as a you know, compliance head and this thing, so I'm really scared when I see a lot of engineers applying for job, and when they come for interview and so no, we don't expect sun and moon from them. We expect the very basic things of if you say DC current, what is the meaning of DC current? If you say AC current, how does the AC current looks like? You know, what is the wave? If you don't know to do that basics, so I think there's something seriously wrong with our education system, or probably you would have passed making engineering drawing through glass tracing, you know. So that is what I wanted to say. So I connect to all of you. So do well in life, and at some point of time, we will definitely cross paths, you know. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much.
Sure,
Jai
sir.
Hind.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Jai Hind, sir.